Welcome everybody. How are you doing today? So very nice to have you here. And today I wanted to speak very briefly about Ukraine and the war that is going on in Ukraine right now. And some of you have reached out to me. I have spoken with some of you. Of course, we are all very concerned with what is happening. And so just a few words about that, because of course it's a devastating event, a devastating situation. Sad, devastating, and really truly almost unbelievable, in the 21st century, war in Europe, unimaginable, unbelievable, and yet it's happening. And so naturally, many people are affected by that, and it will be unnatural if we are not. And I just want to remind us all that, fear, worry, anxiety is not really something that is going to help. That if you are experiencing an urge to somehow participate, somehow get involved, that there are ways you can get involved through peaceful protests, through donating money to some organizations that are helpful there right now, through contacting your representatives, your government representatives, voicing your opinions. And that if you have that urge, that sometimes is really a better way for the nervous system and brain to really express or to really take action, rather than just feel that hopelessness of not being able to do anything. However, in a bigger picture, what we have to remember, what is really the most important thing to remember, is we are not in charge of what is happening in the world. We are not in charge of what is happening in the world. We are not in charge of what arises within or in any way, period. We are not in charge of that. And just take a moment, when you hear that, when you realize that, when you remember that. Because so often just remembering that brings a measure of peace. Peace that is not a denial of what's happening. Peace that is really still, full of compassion and our hearts going out to everybody that is suffering everywhere, anywhere in the world. And especially in particularly right now in this Ukraine Russia war situation, our hearts are going out to everybody there. And yet to remember that we are not in charge. And hopefully that already brings a certain measure of peace to you right now. And if it doesn't for some reason, then please really become aware of your experience. What is your experience? Because on so many levels we are vibrated by this situation. On so many levels our past conditioning can come up, and just the very fact of it's happening, that can be very, very triggering. So if we can become aware of what is actually present in our experience, and if we can simply allow that and notice that moment of presence is, such an unbelievable service to everything and everybody. That moment in which we are actually willing to be here. And again, if that movement towards action keeps arising for you, by all means, it's much better to get engaged than to just, you know, sit in worry, fear, and anxiety about what's going on. So if that's the movement for you, by all means. Otherwise, let's really remember presence, and let's remember that we can, no matter what's going on, no matter what is going on in the world, that we can come back and rest here.